like a pimp. So I didn't.
I swapped it for a dog.
That would have been a bolder opal.
It was massive. It was like a snooker ball, you know, and they had a drawer full of them, you know, and I just was like, what the hell?
Yeah, man. In year 2000, I used to race sprint cars, and we went to Alice Springs 2 times in 2 years. And there's one of our other competitor guys, Dave. Anyway, come to him. He died recently, but he had the big opal place in the middle of Alice Springs, and he pulled out. He goes, that one there. That's like at the time it was. I'm making it up. I'm thinking it was like something like $45,000, but it was only this big. It was a particular opal that was only like that.
Yeah,
it was
right.
nothing. But he's going, that's the thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they just dig holes around there in Alice Springs.
Just
like
trying to
it's
find-
like actual holes. You can sort of dig anywhere and keep going down.
Wow.
Because we've got a friend that lives in Lightning Ridge. Oh, he might be dead now too because he's one of Dad's friends. But because Lightning Ridge is really famous they're famous for their white opals. And, yeah, it's green tea. I'm not drinking alcohol tonight. No, and then if you go out to Quilpy's got black opals and bolder opals, I think. And then there's Cooper Pedy that have... But black opals, if you can get a black opal, even a tiny one is like thousands of dollars.
Wow.
But it depends on how many colours you can get in. So, like, just a green golf ball probably wouldn't be worth that much unless there was a...
What blows me out is that none of
Give me
us...
those, I'll give you $5. Yeah, well, I know they're not as much as crystals.
Look, I know...
You keep the box.
It
Yeah.
might have been worth, like, I don't know, when you say green, like, are you talking, not jade green, it wasn't like a jade, it was like a...
Yeah, it was like
Like
the
a
green on that
typical-
poster for Dark Cell.
Yeah, like a typical opal when you think of
Kermit the Frog green.
Right. You know what blows me out is that, you know, we've all seen the tourists go into opal shops. It's, you know, more so tourists, like maybe the Chinese or something. For some reason, there's opal shops in all these tourist areas.
Yeah.
But you won't see a single sort of Aussie going in there.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't know a single person out there looking for opals.
I do.
Let's all... Come on, tomorrow.
I
I'll meet
would
you down the
love
car
to go-
park.
I'm at a rich bloke
I would
that
love
was
to
an
go
opal
fossicking.
farmer.
Let's do it.
One of my missions. I really, really want to
Let's
go
go to
fossicking.
Lightning Ridge then.
I've got a Lightning Ridge.
I went to
opal.
Lightning Ridge.
I wasn't going to mention it because I thought, it's not here. I left it in the shower. You should see this ring that I've got. I've got this opal that my dad got, and it's huge. And as a kid, I'd play with it, but apparently he thought I lost it. Anyway, I think it was last year or the year before. I've brought it out of the safe and said, Dad, remember this? And he's freaked out, just going, oh, my God, that's the opal. You've had it all this time? And I said, yeah. So what I did was all my grandmother's jewellery and my jewellery, they're my 2 grandmothers' diamond rings and all my old gold, I got all melted down and made into this most extravagant ring. It's got the opal, which is an A1 class. It's got all the colours.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant, from Lightning Ridge. Wow. And it's got 10 diamonds in it, and it's made by the best jeweller in Brisbane. It's actually stunning.
Wow.
It's fit for a queen, and valued at $13,000.
Wow.
And I'd love for you to see it. It's just
You know-
beautiful.
You have to show us.
I went...
My birthstone's opal.
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
October. Are you a
Yeah.
Scorpio? Libra.
We're both.
Wow. Is it an opal?
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Have you been to Lightning Ridge?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you remember about it? Get in the mic, please.
Okay, I went to Lightning Ridge when I was about 7 or 8. They didn't have any asphalt roads. It was all dirt roads. And they had mines. The mines were everywhere. And all they had were, these sticks with a flag on it. And if you saw a stick with a flag on it, you didn't go anywhere near there because there would be, a 40-foot drop.
Right. Yeah.
So this is 7. So what's this? 40.
1996.
Workplace health and safety
40
would have
years
changed
ago.
that now. There would
Well,
be no...
yeah, so it would be,
Yeah, but
been
has it?
changed
That's a
now.
good question. Because
But-
when I went there, it was like a Wild Wild West. There was a
It
Really?
is, yeah, it
big
was.
$1 million town in the middle of nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah.
But it was well known. If you're a bad guy, you could go to Lightning Ridge, dig a hole, find some stuff, and if anyone came up to you, you had to either kill them because they were
gonna.
Yeah, so there was lots of people that were off the radar that were there in the town because they're just trying to get some money, and people were trying to steal money off them at the same time. Steal.
Oh, wow.
Well, like my dad's friend that lives in Lightning Ridge, he didn't actually dig for opals. He used to get the clay, like because the clay has like bits and pieces of opals in it, so they're not big enough to make jewelry out of. But he used to make pottery out of the clay.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, his pieces had bits of opal in it. And that's what he used to do. He was a potterer? Yeah, in Lightning Ridge. And that's how he made his millions.
Wow.
Not by actually digging opals.
Yeah, just using the opal.
Clay. Yeah.
I just remember driving out there and there's like 1 million dead sheep. There's a drought.
Oh.
Like it's a 20-hour drive or something. It's like real flat. Like, have you seen Wolf Creek?
Yeah.
Have you seen that, Rika? Yeah. What about you, Greasy? You seen that film?
No, I was a backpacker at the time when it came out. I was like, I'm not watching that.
You should, just for this one scene where he gets the backpackers and he's towing them. This one scene at the start, and it's really relatable to any Aussie, especially if you've been out west or something. He goes, I'll tow you to my place. And just tows them, and he drives. So all they can see is the back of his head in his ute, and he's towing them in there, like high or whatever it was. And it's like 2 hours in one direction, then stop through a gate. 2 hours in another direction. They're going, where the hell's he going? Clunk over like cattle grids and stuff, and then another turn. 2 hours that direction. He's just going to his place. And then next minute they don't know where the hell they are, and they'll wake up in a shed. The condom out their ass.
Is that what's going to happen when we go camping?
Yeah. I'm so scared to see Wolf Creek 2. Have you seen it?
No.
Me neither. I wouldn't want to. Would you?
I don't know.
Scary.
Yeah.
You live right out there somewhere.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Hey, do you have horses, Crissy Lee Bates?
Yeah, I've got 5.
Wow. Any stallions?
Yeah, I've got 2 stallions. One's at a friend's place and another one's in my round yard because he's cheeky. Yeah. And I have to keep him locked up or else he'll just terrorise. He's this big. He's like, how big's that? 60, 70 centimetres? So a miniature horse, stallion. Yeah. But he will bite and jump and try and fuck everyone, all the others. And one of the horses is 17 two hands, which is, 1.7 metres plus. He jumps up and bites and so he's got to stay by himself.
I went to the Bull and Bronc rodeo last week in Cabarita.
Oh, yeah?
And, it was... I've been to a lot of rodeos, but it was the first time as being this age, I saw, like, the Gold Coast in a whole different light. Like, here I am in Cabarita, which is a beachside town. I was thinking of seeing, a rodeo that's coming through, but I wasn't expecting to see so many people from the back mountains, actual horse people.
Yeah, okay.
There were some of the sexiest women I've ever seen. Like, if I'm from the Speedway world, where we see... You go to all these towns, but you'll see Speedway people. They wear Speedway shirts and, they eat KFC. I'm not shitting on them, but it's what you see. I saw these country people. I'm talking the beautiful women. Everyone was wearing cowboy hats, but the legit, in between all the surfers,
I used to be one. I used to wear the hat, the belt, the long sleeve checkered shirts.
It was cool.
The big buckles and the boots and
and they're walking around like it was like it's a whole scene that you don't see.
You'd be the odd one out there.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, so it was such a cool thing
because everyone follows the rodeos. Because one of my exes was a bronc rider.
Wow.
So we used to do that. We used to follow the rodeos.
So bronc's the horse riding,
bareback
and real fast.
Yeah, there's some horse riders that it's called saddle bronc, and they'll use a saddle. They'll sit in a saddle and hold on to the rope. Well, he used to just have what's called a rigging, which is just like a strap with a handle, like a suitcase handle, basically. Force his hand into it. Like he had to have it all shaved, and all this rosin stuff put on it. Like it was just tight. That was his only way that he would stay on the horse. But if it was too tight, he'd get hung up. Yeah. If you get hung up, you could die.
He's just dragged around.
Yeah, like a rag doll.
It's nuts.
Yeah. It was nuts. But bull riders are worse.
You think?
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but
crazy.
I used to love watching the...
Please.
Didn't we talk about this? We talked about this with... Who did we talk about?
Yoshi? No?
No. Bull riding.
Colt Seavers.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because I like watching bull riding. I do.
Yeah.
Even though, because I don't like animal cruelty, but, and I don't know what goes on. Maybe it is cruel. I don't know. But to me, it seems like the bulls know.
Bulls' balls.
They don't, do they?
No, well, someone explained
They
to
prod
me.
them.
They prod
Do
them.
they?
But at the same time, Chrissy, you'd agree with me, right? People who actually raise animals, even if they're going to be eaten one day, you know, and even the rodeo people, they look after them.
They do.
They love
These
their
horses-
animals. Like they love their animals. They look after them.
You know,
They've got to
yeah.
perform on the night, so they do everything
They
to make
feed.
them perform.
There's
Yeah.
not ever skinny ones.
No, they go out there.
And some of these bucking horses, they have been a kid's pony that wouldn't stop, or not pony, but a horse that has bucked and there's no other place for it than the knackery. So this horse is now part of a rodeo.
Yeah.
It gets all the food it wants through the week, and all they ask of it is just to get on the truck and then just go and give this guy heaps, you know. And if they could breed from it, they're going to breed.
That's right.
Yeah,
Oh my
20,
God, he was
30,000
chainsaws.
There's highly desirable, these good bucking animals, and I don't think they get rugged, but they'll get fed and well looked after, because this is their whole livelihood.
They're the athletes of the sport.
Yeah.
Now, going back to your boyfriend there, were there nights where he just...
Spurred
Try
into me.
to throw them off.
Yeah? Did you see him on that horse and go, oh my, come on.
I was always too nervous. I don't know.
No?
I
There
was
must
just
be- there
fearing
must
for
be-
his life every time I watched him ride. I would be screaming. I'd be drunk and just trying to video, and I'd be the one like screaming and crying if he made time. Like, I'm so proud of him. Ah.
Did I say this the last time? That there's something interesting in the stripping world where it's, if guys go to see girls stripping, as long as they're naked, yes, woo, you know, woo.
Yeah.
But in the lady world, if you see male strippers, they have to have a uniform.
I know,
As
right?
So just
Yeah.
so
It's
as long as they're employed, you know, or you're fireman, you know, there's something interesting, right?
There's something about a uniform, isn't there? I don't know. There's something about a uniform, because you see these...
He's got a job, eh?
No, I don't know
That's
what it is.
turning me on. He's not going to sponge off me.
There must be something in
But
it.
when you watch, like,
Giving me a
RBG...
parking ticket. Sex man.
Don't you think? Like, a policeman looks... If he's not in a uniform, he's just
a man.
I know.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I've never really had a thing with
Oh, I get
men
that
in
with
uniform.
air hostesses. You know, is that what you call them? You know, like
Yeah.
any woman in like even the bank ladies, like, ooh,
What do you
little
think?
tight skirts.
What
I
do you
love
think?
it.
Do you undress them with your eyes?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And do you wonder what they're like in
I
bed?
prefer to use my hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do.
This button's not opening.
Yeah, okay. I've often wondered, because I think that's how men think.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I think of that too, and then I think, hang on, what am I? Am I perverted by thinking this? But no, that is how half the population are thinking.
Did we?
I'll tell you an awkward story. Okay, so my friend of mine goes to a lingerie, a bar where they have lingerie waitresses on Fridays occasionally, and he said to me, "Come along to this lingerie bar." I said, "Okay." I don't relax in those places. I feel self-conscious. I really do. I'm looking at all the other dudes going, "This is fucking creepy, man. What are we doing here?" And the girls are really friendly and all that. And the one that went to, one of the waitresses was about 21, and all the guys were like, you know, "Oh, come here, sweetheart, you know, go and get us a couple of drinks and get one for yourself." It was that kind of thing, you know. And then they, you know, pop the hand into the back of their pants and feel their asses while they're giving them a tip, you know. And I'm watching this, and I'm just going, there's one other girl there. There's two of them, and the other one's about 40. And nobody is ordering drinks from this girl. And all these guys are just after this 20-something girl, you know what I mean? And I start feeling fucking terrible for the other one. And I'm going, all right, I've got to order a drink from her and give her a tip. Just trying to balance this out here so we don't all look fucking like the
It's like the
subhumans.
seagull with one foot. You're
I
like,
know. Well, yeah.
Here, have a chip.
You know, but she was a fucking gorgeous chick, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm thinking, you guys are creepy, man.
Yeah.
She's fucking hot as. Anyway, so I said I'll order a drink from her, and I'd